Okay, how we doing today, guys? God bless. St. Michael's Prayer Team loves you guys. How you doing? I'm working on a perjury discovery. I'm just going to go straight through. This is the temperature of my house right now. It's 60.1 in this room. In that room, it's probably 1 or 2 degrees, a little bit cooler than that, where I normally stay in the living room. I've got a little bit of a problem. I went to this assistance program thing here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing here, and I'm gonna show you some papers. And first of all, the first thing I want to tell you is I'm not a paranoid. Okay, I'm not a paranoid, and I have a paper here to prove it. And whoever says I'm a paranoid is committing perjury. And John Colozo was the genesis to that discovery. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you some papers here, and I'll tell you what the papers mean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this around so you can see what I'm doing here. I'll take this off, and I'll flip it around. Okay, so this first paper here is an old doctor's note. You might not be able to read that. Let me see. But it says psychosis NOS on that line right there. And the same thing, it says psychosis NOS right here on this one too. Let me see. This one here is the original document right here of my status of my disability, and this one also says psychosis NOS. Psychosis NOS. So you can see my finger right there. Psychosis NOS. And this is my name up here at the top, right there, Ryan Fawley. Okay, so these are my documents. And what happened was I went to this place here. This place here is the Lake County Community Service for Energy Assistance Program application. And essentially, right now my NIPSCO bill is not paid for. Right there is my amount I owe for this month, $98.46 for my name. Right there is on the same bill. There's my name right there, Brian J. Fawley. If you could read that, I don't know how to get this to focus, but Brian J. Fawley, and then $98.46. So you should be able to read that. I could barely read it. Okay, so I owe money this month, and essentially what happened was this is. Let me see if I can show you this. This paper here has my name on it. It's from the Social Security Department, and I can't show you my Social Security number, but I can show you the number of jobs I had. All of these places are jobs that I worked at, and all these pages have page numbers on them. Okay, and this is just a discovery, and everyone has a number on the side. And I went through over 40. By the time you get to the end of these papers here, you can see all these papers here. It goes up to 40 right there. It says 40. So it starts with 1 here, and you go through all these papers here. You can see how many papers are there. And the reason I can't show you the entire paper is because my Social Security number is actually up in the top of the paper. So all these papers show how many jobs I had in my lifetime. Okay, I'm gonna flip this around now. Okay, let me get this thing set up and flip it around again. Okay, how you doing? Okay, so this thing here, there's 40 different jobs listed on the Social Security Department on this paper here, and I saved that. And I actually ordered this from them, and they charged me a $50 service fee. Okay, and here's this month's NIPSCO bill with my name on it. Let me see, right there. Okay, so I showed you that one, and then here's the assistance program. Now the thing that's funny is I went to this assistance program, and I asked them if they could help me, and they helped me last year. And they said, well, if you're not a paranoid, you can't call back until December 15th. And I called them yesterday, and they set an appointment for me. However, my appointment is not until January 31st. And this is a winter assistance for NIPSCO. So by the time I get my appointment, winter will be, the coldest months of the winter will be pretty much over. And the reason being is because there's four KKK Satanists working in that office at the Lake County Community Service. And the problem is that one of the ladies, there were four ladies there, and one of the ladies is related to the chief of police, who used to be chief of police. I think he may still be the chief of police. And essentially what they're doing is they want me to commit perjury, and they want me to say that Satan paid two separate doctors, John Cuozzo paid two separate doctors to change my diagnosis from psychosis NOS to a paranoid. Because now if I try to report child trafficking, they immediately say paranoid. And that's their plan, to call me a paranoid. Okay? So essentially the scripture is, it says, justice is turned back and righteousness stands afar off, for truth has fallen in the street and equity cannot enter. So truth fails, and he who departs from evil makes himself a prey. And the Lord saw it and displeased him that there was no justice. So for me to get justice, if I tell them a lie, then they'll help me with my winter assistance. See? And the problem is that these four satanic KKK members are also hermaphrodite blood, meaning they're going to have twin sisters and brothers. Thanks for joining St. Michael's Prayer Team. Loves you guys. How you doing? I just did a discovery on some paperwork, and I feel like I'm being discriminated by the satanic people who are working with John Cuozzo to purge my testimony. And thanks for joining St. Michael's Prayer Team. Loves you guys. Thanks for joining. I want you guys to know that I just had a testimony. So I want you to go back and watch the replay. The scripture is, justice is turned back and righteousness stands afar off, for truth has fallen in the street and equity cannot enter. So truth fails, and he departs from evil, makes himself a prey. Then the Lord saw it and displeased him that there was no justice. So I have a discovery on these papers in here. I have a discovery on these papers here, and a discovery on these papers here, and a discovery on these papers here. So I have all of these things recorded on this previous document here, and I want you guys to go back and look at it. And the problem is that one of the ladies, who is one of the satanic KKKs, is allegedly married to one of the chief of police in Crown Point. And this whole thing in Crown Point is set up for Satan, and I'm right in the middle of Satan. I'm kind of like some of these guys in the Bible, like, well, right now, I'm kind of like Ezekiel, okay, because I have to tell the word of the Lord to people who probably don't want to hear it. And so I'm going to stop this recording. I want you to go back and look at the discoveries of the papers I showed you, and it's coercion to commit perjury. They want me to perjure myself as a paranoid so I can't report, because this guy right here, Ramirez, is a police officer in Crown Point. He said he would arrest me if I reported child trafficking. And that's Satan's plan, is whoever tries to report on Satan's stuff, then that guy's obviously a Satanist that would arrest me if I try to file a report. So the addresses on Satan's properties, he owns a huge square around Livingstone Fellowships, and the upstairs, the house is on the main, ground level. There's a lot of stuff underneath. I guess it goes down at least 5 levels, but the addresses are all screwed up. Like I said, 901 Pratt Street is the church, and then 711 Pratt Street is like 2 houses away, and it's still on the 900 block. And 911 Pratt Street is somewhere on that block of Pratt Street, and that's where a lot of the child endangerments are going. Allegedly, they found a rabbit hole that went down 5 stories. So, my reports are true, but this is Satan, and he's going to, he's been telling lies about the addresses and things of that nature. So, please go back and look at the discovery. And then I filed a report with somebody online, and I don't know how high up this thing is going, but it's supposed to be winter help, and they're not, unless I commit perjury. And it's the same thing with the food stamp office. There's about 4 of them inside the food stamp office over here. So if I try to get food stamps, it's the same thing. So I really want to get out of this neighborhood and get away from Satan's headquarters. St. Michael's loves you, because he's really got me surrounded. And God's going to protect me. However, it's just, it's not profitable for Christianity for me to be here neither is it profitable for me. I'm really slandered more than anything else just by being here. So please do not participate in slander. Do not call me a paranoid. Jesus Christ says I'm not a paranoid. The Father said I'm not a paranoid. Jesus said I'm not a paranoid. Holy Spirit said I'm not a paranoid. Satan is the one claiming me as the paranoid. And that's the purpose of all these papers, is to give you the discovery of how they changed my diagnosis for their convenience to remove my reports if I want to be a whistleblower. Okay, so I love you guys. Thanks. Share this out to your friends and whatnot. There's the discovery. God bless.